Let's speak now to Mark Chenoweth, who is Executive Director and General Counsel for the new Civil Liberties Alliance. It's a civil rights group opposed to overreach by state and federal agencies. Mark, do you think Judge Barrett will make a good justice?
I do think she will. As you heard in that clip, she is very much in favor of self-government, and I think that her approach to both the text of statutes and the original meaning of the Constitution will return more power to American voters.
So as an originalist, can you see some laws that she could potentially overturn?
Well, it's hard to say because obviously the court the only cases that come before the court are ones that they can address, and the court has no control or has little control over which cases folks choose to bring. But if there were some cases involving the structure of the Constitution, in terms of, for example, whether or not there's something called the non-delegation doctrine in American law. The first Article 1 of the Constitution says that all legislative power has to be in the Congress, and it could be the case that a future Supreme Court could find that more statutes have delegated too much power to executive agencies and not left enough power with the Congress.
Do you think it's acceptable that we're seeing this confirmation process so close to the election?
I think it is. President Trump had put out a list of folks that he would appoint to the Supreme Court if he was elected, and because of the confirmation hearings of Justice Kavanaugh taking place so closely before the election in 2018, the future of the Supreme Court was really on the ballot in 2018, and the senators who were elected at that time are the ones who will be voting on this confirmation.
And yet Barack Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, wasn't even given a hearing in 2016.
That's true. He was not. And if you look back in American history, you find that in election years when the Senate is controlled by a party other than the party of the president, there is almost never a confirmation hearing that takes place for the Supreme Court. But when they're of the same party, typically that confirmation hearing does take place.
Mark, I wonder how you think the American public are going to view the court, given it is now going to be skewed so much to the right, which is not perhaps reflective of the people.
Well, I think that's a great question. If you look back as recently as a decade ago, we had 7 justices on the Supreme Court who were appointed by Republican presidents. It wasn't until Justice Sotomayor replaced Justice Souter that we had a 6-3 court, and not until Justice Kagan replaced Justice Stevens that we had a 5-4 court. And yet, I don't think anyone thinks back to the 1990s or the 2000s and considers that court to be especially conservative or noticeably more conservative than the current court.
Mark, good to get your thoughts. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.